Gin in every imaginable variety. The Graphic Bar in London's trendy Soho district is said to have the world's largest selection. There are more than 200 types.
Gin is a massive thing right now. People are looking for other things other than vodka. You know, gin is a flavoured vodka, and people just are looking for something a bit more versatile, you know, more flavours out there rather than, you know, a neutral spirit.
Just about every week, another new type of gin goes on the market in Britain. Gin is booming here, in large part thanks to the work of many micro-distilleries that put out just a few thousand bottles a year. One of the more unusual is the Sacred Micro-Distillery, located in a private North London residence. It was launched 5 years ago by Ian Hart, a former headhunter. He started distilling gin in his own living room, and he's still doing it today. But unlike traditional distilleries, Hart uses a vacuum process. That's why it looks like a chemistry lab.
People are a little bit jaundiced, if that's the right word, with the huge mega corporations who control everything that they eat and everything that they drink. And to find something which is artisanal and actually produced, in my case, in our own house, is a refreshing change.
This setup produced 18,000 bottles of gin last year. This year, he's planning for 25,000. His customers now include Fortnum & Mason, the exclusive London department store, and the Tate Gallery of Modern Art. Hart's trove of treasures, so to speak, is in his back garden.
So this is the shed where we store all of our botanicals. So here we have sacks of gentian and orris.
Unlike the traditional manufacturing process, Hart distills all of the components separately and mixes them at the end.
That also enables us to change the recipe. So, for example, for the Tate, they have their own particular blend, and because we have our distillates stored separately in the first place, that enables us to offer the Tate the ability to blend their own personalised gin.
That limited edition gin is being served this summer. The Tate Modern has set up a designer open-air bar featuring drinks made from its special blend. The cocktail is a work of art, you could say. Daniel Nokia runs a blog devoted to gin. For the London-based writer, high culture and strong spirits are a natural combination.
Gin, at its heart, has always been a creative spirit. I think its roots are embedded in creativity in that it's always experimented with different botanicals. Art is the similar thing in that people bring different experiences and they bring those different things together to create what is symbolic of society, a mirror towards society of what people are feeling. And I think it's the same thing with gin today.
But in the earliest years of its long history, gin had very little to do with art. On the contrary, as we learn at the Ginstitute, a small gin museum based in London's Notting Hill. Jake Berger worked as a bartender for 25 years. He's an expert on the history of gin. For much of its past, gin drinking was anything but a convivial pastime. Instead, it was a rather dispiriting affair, as these old illustrations show. For much of the 17th and 18th centuries, gin was cheaper than beer. So the poor especially consumed it in great quantities.
It really was an epidemic. Any given time of day or night, as many as 1 in 4 Londoners was incapacitated through gin consumption, leading to a breakdown in the structure of society, a breakdown in the family, huge increases in crime, certain areas of the city becoming virtual no-go areas. And at this time, still very much the preserve of the peasant classes, the poor inner city dwellers.
In the 20th century, gin managed to become a respectable drink. Gin cocktails were especially popular in the 20s and 30s. But by the 1960s, vodka was ascendant and gin languished. But the rebirth of the classic cocktail means that gin is once again in. Twice a month, the Graphic Bar even hosts an event called the Juniper Club.
Now on your table in a little champagne glass, I put some juniper berries.
Much like a wine tasting, the participants learn to distinguish between the different flavour notes and botanicals.
There are ones that are more floral, ones that are more citrusy, ones that are a little bit spicy.
When you mix it with tonic, it doesn't seem like a heavy alcoholic drink.
You have no idea that there's so many different flavours and textures, and
botanicals and everything. It's just really nice.
The cocktail connoisseurs agree the golden age of gin has only just begun.